and stress, all these things. Then after a few weeks training, each day about 30 minutes or some sort of meditation on love, compassion. So after a few days, after sort of a few weeks, again they test, blood pressure reduce, amount of stress also reduce. Individual person become much more calmer, much more happier. So these are not just to say idea, but some university, some scientist, genuine well-known scientist, they already carried as an experiment. They found quite sort of significance of result like that. So that physical level, calm mind, very sort of positive factor. Then another thing, human intelligence is really precious. So in order to carry human precious properly, calm mind is very necessary. Once our mind become biased, our mind disturbed by emotion, then our basic sort of mind then become much disturbed. Then these negative emotion develop. Then our whole sort of view become biased. We cannot sort of see the reality objectively. Many mistakes, I think global level or national level or international level, many of these, like the Iraq war. You see, the situation look little bit sort of say the biased mind, not objectively and not holistically. So these sort of mistakes is happen. Even our family level also. You see, in order to see the reality, our mind must be calm and look, investigate objectively. Then we get clear picture. So our mind calm, we can utilize our ability to see, to investigate the reality more properly. Once our mind disturbed, then you can't see, you can't utilize our investigation objectively. So calm mind, very important. Calm mind does not mean we remain indifferent. No. With feeling, with recognition, this is nice, this is positive, this is negative. But not much sort of, I think intellectual level, yes, this is good, I must do this. This is bad, I must sort of, kasota.
Abstain.
Refrain. Clear sort of distinction, right and wrong, and the negative and the positive, and short-term consequences, long-term consequences. But then deeper level, emotional level, more or less neutral. That we can do. So occasionally, this morning also, is I just expressed, the 2 days ago is I burst my temper to somebody sort of staff member. But, short period, some anger, but then go, not remain. That we can do. If our basis of the mental attitude is quite sort of healthy, then these destructive emotion comes and goes. I always telling as a sort of example, like ocean, wave always come and go, comes and go. But underneath, always calm. So our mind also can do that. Different destructive emotions come and go. these emotions, actually, I think a biological factor, attachment, biological factor. Bias to love, compassion, also biological factor. Anger, fear, also biological factor. I think many of you may know or may not, according to sort of scientists, when anger develops, then blood goes more on hand, so ready to fight. When fear develops, blood go more on leg, run away. So these are biological factors. So, say, biologically, we equipped with these things in order to protect oneself. Anger, push, because of negative things. Attachment, bring positive things for one's own survival. Even flowers, no consciousness, but due to chemical, they also have a certain capacity to bring their positive thing for their survival and push something harmful, like that. So then we, of course, not only physical level, but also mental level. So, but using human intelligence, human awareness, they're thinking long-term interest, long-term benefit, and short-term sort of satisfaction, short-term sort of benefit, then because of our intelligence, long-term greater benefit is more important than the short-term satisfaction. So with help of human intelligence, we can sort of reduce some of these destructive emotion, although biological factor, but we can reduce. So, and secular ethics, I think awareness and training of mind. Training means familiarize certain things. That's what we call meditation. Meditation means, you see, our main sort of view or main mind familiarize and a certain sort of mind or certain sort of the object. Like that. So through that way, we can train our mind. Through that way, eventually, for example, when anger develops, if you have some sort of experience through training, you can separate from the anger. You can watch anger by yourself. Once you separate yourself from anger, so the anger's dominance no longer possible, then this because of the strength or intensity of anger automatically reduce. So through training, you see, we can do these things. All these, I think, the ability of human intelligence. So that's why you see, many literature, many spiritual literature, you see, mentioned human body is something precious, like that. So now, I think basically, I think that's the main point. You see, everyone want a happy life, and the ultimate source of happiness, satisfaction. Now, when I say happiness, I think mainly means satisfaction. So even suffering, even physical suffering, can bring deeper satisfaction at the mental level. Even these sports, they really, physically, this very hard work. Sometimes it's difficult, but that brings tremendous satisfaction on mental level. So satisfaction and suffering, not the opposite way. Right? So here, happiness not necessarily sort of pleasant experience, but the happiness mainly here satisfaction. So happy life or satisfactory life, ultimate source is within ourselves. That please should know that. So pay more attention about our inner quality, inner value. Even you want to harm someone, the method should be realistic. In order to carry realistic method, you see, your mind must be calm. Then your approach to hit your neighbor who always create a problem for you, then your hit really hit effectively. If your mind too much anger, then try to criticize, try to do something harm on them, or may not hit real target. Isn't it? I think one example, your neighbor, if you see your neighbor, you see create some problem for you, and you want to some sort of, what's the day, Kasuda, harm, right? If you remain calm, without anger, without much emotion, your sort of attitude still remain very pleasant attitude. So your friend continuously come and even increase. More visitors come. Then your neighbor feel more worry. Other hand, because of some trouble due to your neighbor, if you lost your peace of mind, and you always sort of irritate and bad mood, then visitor certainly will reduce. Then eventually you feel some uncomfortable, some illness or some uncomfortable. So doctor, you have to call one doctor. Then your neighbor really feel happy. Now my neighbor, no visitor, no sort of happy mood, and now even doctor also calling. So something goes wrong. So they feel very happy. So anger, hatred, actually self-ruin, self-destruction. So instead of that, you remain calm. And then investigate what is the best way to hit on your neighbor. Then utilize that realistically. And then you get real deeper satisfaction. So calm mind is very, very important. So when we face some problems, we should not develop, you should not let out anger, this negative emotion. Try to minimize and use our intelligence about the reality. That's important. That I want to share with you. That's I usually call the method, the value of human values, nothing to do with religion. Then for religion, the second level, those people who believe religion, 1,000-year-old India's tradition, religious harmony. That's now I realize, India is the really only country where all major religious traditions live together. This really greatness of India. Beside a homegrown different religious tradition, all major religious tradition eventually, you see, they establish